Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Phillips. First at 6, this weekend marks 2 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, starting a war. You're taking a look at people around the world rallying behind Ukraine. The Associated Press reports Ukraine is dealing with dwindling supplies and personnel challenges. As we head into year 3 of the war, Russia controls about a quarter of the country. On your side, Zach Wilcox talked with the founder of Helping Ukraine, a local organization that helps families leaving the war-torn country. He joins us live now from Ponte Vedra Beach. And Zach, Northeast Florida is still seeing families come in from Ukraine.
Yeah, Riley, that organizer with Helping Ukraine told me that it really comes in waves, but just in the past couple of months, she's had 5 families who have just come over here recently, and she mentioned that the family she's working with now, it's a little different than it was 2 years ago, because these are families that tried to stick it out. They stayed in Ukraine as long as they could until they just simply could not anymore. So there's that extra layer of sadness and frustration as they try to get acclimated to life in the U.S. She told me that the first family she worked with was just a couple of weeks after the war broke out. They got connected on Facebook and were messaging back and forth about things that family needed to get used to life here in the U.S. And then once she got them acclimated here, they had relatives and they had friends who also needed help. So it just kind of snowballed from there. And she's been working to get things like, furniture, simple things like plates, help getting employment to those families. And at this point, she's helped more than 300 families over the course of the past 2 years. And as we head into year 3 here of the war, she doesn't plan on letting up anytime soon.
Otherwise, you're so helpless to see this tragedy, and it makes me feel that I'm doing something, even though it's, very tiny, a grain of sand, but that's all I can do.
I asked her what she's hoping will happen in the next year when inevitably I call her on the 3rd anniversary of the war starting, and she's hoping that, Ukraine will have the borders that it had before all this happened, that the war will be over, but she admits that right now it feels a little grim. In Ponte Vedra Beach, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News on your side.